Hello, 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 and welcome back to The World is Storytelling with me, Ronnie. And this time it's springtime, so buckle up for some amazing stories about birds with one of the most fantastic scientists I know, Dr. Violeta Caballero-Lopez, or as I know her, my friend Vio. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Before we get going, here's a question for you all. Why are pigeons always so cold? The answer is because they're birds. Thank you very much for listening and have a wonderful, wonderful day. So tell a story, one that is true. Yeah. Bring those avocado socks and
yes.
Join us.
Jesus, he knows me, and I know I'm right. I've been talking to Jesus. It works, no?
It works very well.
All my life. Okay.
So you were saying you've been talking to Jesus your entire life.
No.
Are you a friend of his, or is he a friend of yours?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? No. Okay. Well, this interview was going to be really about our connection to Phil Collins.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you connected to Phil Collins?
Yeah. On some way, more than to Jesus, for sure. Since I'm little, one way or another, I've heard Phil Collins in the background at some point.
Even when he's not playing? he's just there.
Preferably when he's not playing, but sometimes when he's not playing as well, yeah.
That's quite amazing. I think, this is always before an interview, I think to myself, what is it that we're going to find out? And I think we found it really soon that you have voices in your head.
Yes.
Saying Phil Collins.
Yes, they never shut up.
Yeah.
But they're fun most of the time.
Absolutely. They have they have that kind of, in Sweden you have Phil Mjölk, and in music you have Phil Collins. Mm-hmm. It's things like that. Yeah. Well, so who am I with, and where are we?
So we are in Lund, and I'm Violeta Caballero, and I
Doctor.
It's true. Doctor, and I study genetics of bird migration. So why do little birds go where they go? Because they do so without any guidance. So when they are born, they already know where to go. So I study how can this be possible in the DNA, basically.
Which is absolutely fascinating. I mean, we've known each other for a while, and I feel
almost
very honoured.
9 years.
Almost
Me
9
too.
years, yeah. And I've always been absolutely fascinated by what you do.
Yeah.
As a bit of a nerd, I've always been interested by travel and by compasses and by directions and by maps. And when you talk about how birds navigate, to me that just speaks to this intrinsic thing in all of the beings on this planet to try and figure out where we're going and why. What was that noise? Because I think it's quite an interesting one. What was the noise just now?
The extraction thing, the fume, the kitchen, the fume thing.
Because I thought it was your rabbit flopping down.
Yeah, they also do that. Yeah, no. Those have no sense of direction at all. Just like me. Maybe that's why I study birds, because I don't have it myself. My hippocampus is messed up, I think, since I was born.
I don't know about that. You seem to be.
I cannot tell right from left most of the time. So it's very ironic that I study birds that know where to go. So yeah.
How do they know where to go?
Short answer, we still don't know, but we know they can sense the magnetic field, and it probably has to do with light. So when it's dark, they cannot see the magnetic field. So whatever they sense it with, it must be related to vision as well. And they can use the sun compass and the stars. Also, they can read the sky, because when they do these experiments in a planetarium where they rotate the sky, the birds go totally messed up. So they can use several cues from the environment to orient themselves. But why they decide to go, for example, east or west, to this day we still don't know. Why? How a 8-gram fluff ball
Yeah.
can find their way through deserts, oceans, and mountain ranges and still keep flying. Sometimes 4,000 meters. I've had in my loggers that I put on them 4,700 meters. The bird going in one direction non-stop.
Kilometers, sorry.
4 kilometers, 4.7 kilometers high.
So high above. Right.
Exactly. Yeah, and kilometers even more. Sometimes 13,000 kilometers away.
Wow.
So how can the bird do this knowingly? And that's the puzzle. Probably it's some sense of like direction that they inherit somehow in their brain. So that is what I do.
Yeah.
Oh.
Why birds?
I just, since I was little, I really liked bird watching. And it's not something that I always knew I wanted to do, like migration stuff, but I always liked birds, and I always went by myself because the kids in my village, they were like, she's crazy, like, let her go for now. And always went by myself in these walks and really tried to bring my friends with me and all that. They were like, no, you do it. And I could just sit and look at the same bird for hours, look what they do, and it's like catching Pokemons. You just go and get as many as you can and twitch these lists. And then I really always knew I wanted to work with birds and never knew exactly on what. And in the end, you just, more than going for what you want, I always reject what I don't want. And then I'm left with what I want. So it works. For me, it works like this. And so I, in the end, ended up selecting always topics that had to do with migration. So I was like, so it must be that I really find it fascinating, and it is.
It is.
It's impressive that they can do this, birds. But they're impressive in many other ways as well.
They are.
See?
And they look lovely.
Yeah, they are very, very cute. And they are the only living dinosaurs we have.
Yeah, that's true. Well, except for me.
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes people tell me that I'm a dinosaur. Maybe they're referring to other things, but But that's one of the things that I've always...
No, we will have to ask those people.
Yeah, that's true. Well, maybe we shouldn't. Not on microphone.
Online.
Yeah. One of the things I've always loved about hearing what you've been up to is seeing pictures of the field research that you do.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, talking about the field research that you do, and to me it has this very romantic feeling of the birds, because birds are a creature that can always fly free, and they're they're navigating around the world in a way that we can't. Obviously we have planes which fly, but as people we can't fly, so we're stuck to the ground. But they're not. They're 3D. They're up, they're down, they're along. And I guess what I'm really asking is when you're out there in some way in the bird's domain, do you feel free? Do you feel like you can fly?
Oh, that's a nice question. I feel that I am where I have to be when I'm out there. I feel like everything is worth it for this moment, So I don't know. I guess that's the closest I will get to fly in that sense by myself without any aid. To be, I guess that's the best freedom you can have, to be like right there, right now. I wouldn't change anything. So for me, that's why my favorite part is to be in the field. Doing things. And of course it's tough, and of course you get bored of things there as well, but it never feels as right as it does when I am out there. In the lab, it's just, push through. Writing papers is fun, but I just push through so I can go back to the field and look at what they do and wonder. And many times it's has just nothing to do with work. It's just being out there with them and just watch them and be like, I chose a good life for myself. at least at some point.
At that moment.
At that moment.
Yeah.
Sí.
Tell us some field research stories. What happens when you're out there?
Well, one curious is a very cool. I was studying these great reed warblers, like 5 hours north from here in Sweden.
Yeah.
And this species lives in the reeds, as the name says. So they just climb to the top of the reeds and they sing 22 hours per day.
Aww.
When they are breathing. They never shut up and they sing horribly. But it's a really cool bird. And so the work is like, it works, you work on a canoe the whole day. You just move in between the reeds with the canoes and you have to find the nests. And it's very complicated to find these nests of birds because it's just a massive reed bed and you have to walk in a straight line towards the reeds where you think the nest is, and you could be a meter from the nest or half a meter and you don't see it if you don't look for it well or if you don't have the right direction. So I was doing this for several summers, and once we had the problem that the whole lake system got very flooded because of really bad rains that year. And every single nest was underwater with the eggs and everything.
Oh.
Like everything got lost. So the birds had to build again.
Yeah.
And we often think like of species like this is what they do and that's their biology and they cannot do anything else. And for me it was really interesting that one time when I was looking for this pair nest again, the 5th time I looked for their nest because they lost them all the time with the flood. And man, it really looks like they have a nest in those reeds, but they don't. And then I was like, okay, let's check the bush. But this is a reed species.
Yeah.
They don't do nest in bushes. They do nest in reeds. They get reeds together, they tie them together, and they make the nest in there. I kid you not, the nest was on a tree.
Huh.
So they are scientifically, they are so flexible, these birds, like, or many species, I guess. They are so good at doing what they can with what they have. And sometimes we put them in this box that they only do this, they only do this, they only do this. When I told my supervisor at the time, he couldn't believe it. He was like, what? On a tree? And yeah, like,
wow.
Many animals would surprise you what they can do because they have to. And one chick survived in that nest and it came back the next year. So
cute.
It was not an evolutionary failure, it was a success. So for me that was a curious story.
That's a great story. So the great reed warblers are sometimes great bush warblers.
Yes, great tree warblers.
Great tree warblers.
Exactly. That's a good one. Yes. Yeah, now an embarrassing story.
Oh yes, please.
Oh,
We love
shit.
embarrassing stories.
No,
Especially from field work.
this one, I remember I was working more with my species of bird. And we
Which
were
is?
Willow warblers.
Oh,
so another kind
of
of warbler. But this one sings very well. Beautiful little green bird. And these are the ones that I put trackers on and see where they go. So this year we were looking for nests of these birds. And, you know, like we had some fish in a river. We were in the north of Sweden. And it's this massive, you know, melted ice rivers, the rivers that come out of the ice from the spring melting and all this. Massive rivers, and you just like fish for perch mostly, and I like perch more, and pikes and things. And I don't know what the hell we cooked that time, but it didn't sit well with anyone. Okay. And I was there with 2 guys, it's always mostly men in this kind of field work. And I was with these 2 guys And I was like, I'm not gonna be able to hold it. This is really bad. And I'm putting up a net. You have to put a net to catch the bird.
Okay.
And I'm setting up this net with the poles, and the net is extremely fine, so you cannot let it fall.
Oh.
Because if it falls, like, it will get tangled with everything on the floor, and probably like it will get a lot of dirt in it, like leaves and things, and you spend. But I was like, please, someone hold it, because I am feeling like I need to vomit. Total lie. I didn't vomit from the top. So I just gave the net to some guy, like, grab it just on time so I don't throw it to the floor, and ran away. And I made it on time, but no, I lied. I didn't make it on time.
Didn't, yeah.
Like, I had to leave my panties behind. So I had to dig a hole and put them in there and cover it and get dressed again and hope that I wouldn't poop myself again before getting to the camping.
Yeah.
I was like, it was not my proudest moment, but field biologists shit themselves all the time.
Listen,
you would be surprised.
I believe it, and I'm not a field biologist, and I shit myself too. So it's
yeah, exactly. I understand.
You're
more
among
than
good
you
company
think.
here.
Yeah, but it's part of life. Poop is part of life.
It is. I think people obsess so much about what they eat, but they don't really talk about
how they poop.
Yeah.
With this scale of hardness and everything.
Yeah, they talk a little bit about it, but they don't I wish we put as much effort into how we poop as what we eat.
Yes. I've learned a lot of things from the behavior of the birds. At least the biggest take-home message I got out of my PhD is that very complex behaviors, like knowing already where you're gonna go, they are not they are not easy to define inside when you look at the DNA.
Okay.
It's very, people think like, okay, this is the gene for the blue eyes, this is the gene. They think about these discrete units or Mendelian characters that you inherit. One allele from the mom, one allele from the dad, la 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 la. But in many cases, like height or size and things like this, is many, many, many genes all together that translate themselves into these phenotypes. And with migration, it happens like this. And something as simple as direction, it really looks like it's underpinned by regions of the genome that we didn't even know they had any function. Because there is a lot of our genome that has no genes.
Yeah,
it's
we say
just
junk DNA.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So this thing was thought to be a huge junk DNA chromosome. And it is the thing that tells them go east or west. And we don't know how the hell this happens. So this comes with better and better technology to get better genome assemblies, and it comes with a lot of innovation on tracking devices and making them smaller so young birds can carry them, things like this. So it's like really puzzling and really fascinating, but yeah, until you get there, it's extremely frustrating in the lab.
What's this? So this is I need to read this out. The field guide to dumb birds of the whole stupid world.
Yes, it's the very first. It's a compilation of frustration trying to birdwatch, which is very real. It's much more real than any bird guide. But wow, man, that joke about birds.
Unfortunately, when I think of bird jokes, it's just all things about tits.
Tits and boobies.
Tits and boobies, yeah. There are lots of tits and
cocks.
boobies.
Cock of the rock.
That's true.
Is a very cute Peruvian bird.
Oh
yes.
dear. This is a memory of mine. Did we ever actually do this? But there was a between Simrishamn and Kivik.
Yeah.
in Australian.
Beautiful.
There's a beautiful, beautiful hike, walk like along the beach where you can go for quite a long way.
Yeah.
And I always used to see these amazing birds who make like hundreds of holes in the cliffside. What are they called again?
This is probably San Martins.
Yes, exactly. It's fantastic. Some of my favorite memories, and that for the audience, it's a beautiful in the Swedish summer or spring. That beach there, it sounds crazy to say, but it feels like Hawaii.
It does. Not when you go in the water, but
No, not when you go in the water.
Looking at it.
Sometimes the water's quite nice. And you're walking along there, you can walk along barefoot, and there's a hike that I used to do, which was really, really enjoyable on this beautiful sandy cliffside where these San Martins make hundreds of little holes, and it's like a central station. They're coming, and going, and coming and going, hundreds of them at a time, and it's just fantastic. It's really, really good.
Yes, birds, they have invented everything. Every behavior you can think of. They already have it.
They already have it there.
See.
Yeah.
They make holes, they make baskets, they make, in terms of nests, even 2 sticks can be a nest. Pigeons are really bad at doing nests. Because the natural habitat of a pigeon is cliffs by the sea. That's how pigeon, at least the European species we have, like the rock pigeon. Not all of them, but the rock pigeon is called rock pigeon because it used to hang used to go in these cliffs in Mediterranean islands.
Okay.
So they go into a hole in the wall, not like a round hole, but these cracks on the wall, and they lay the eggs there, so they don't need to make a basket.
Yeah,
they just need to lay the eggs there, so that's why they're so bad at making nests.
Interesting.
And then you have all these weaver birds and the pendulum tits, and they make like this huge hanging, super complicated, phenomenal structures. So birds have really invented everything.
They really have. What's your favorite bird?
Oh, it's very difficult for me to choose, but I have weakness for woodpeckers, even though I don't work with them, but I really, really like them. They are so sturdy, and they really get to it until they
keep going,
until they get what they want. So and they are beautiful. But annoying they don't sound very beautiful, but
and there's something nice about hearing them in the woods. There's some in the woods.
The
near
drumming.
us. Yeah,
that's beautiful.
Yeah,
for sure. And because they are not so good at singing, they do different drumming of like different tones when they drum. And that's the courtship for the female.
Oh, really?
So the drumming is not always for food; it's for territories and for attracting females.
Oh, wow!
So they change the
pitch.
On the drumming, and that's how they sing, so to say.
That's quite amazing.
They are very beautiful.
That's quite amazing.
Si.
What other birds are? Oh, come on! Before we leave, we have to think of a good dad joke. What birds are there? Finches. There's sparrows. There's starling.
Cocks, like roosters, are common. Oh, come on, there are so many dad jokes about birds. You have to edit this thing, yeah?
No, we're going to keep the pauses.
No, por favor.
What slogans do hens use to motivate other hens?
Which ones?
Yes, she can! Yes, she can!
Yes, mía. Good one.
Thank you.
Joder, the chicken one is like, what did the chicken cross the road to get to the other side?
Yeah.
Really? Oh my god. That's so disappointing.
It's really...
Why did the turkey refuse dessert?
Why?
Because he was already stuffed.
Hey!
No, you can go.
Well, thank you, Dr. Violeta.
It took me a PhD to come up with this joke. Yes.
And maybe that can be one of the subjects of your postdoc.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff in Turkish.
Bird jokes.
Yes. But thank you.
Thank you.
Oh
no, please.
For listening to all my shit.
Thank you. Oh, but please.
Thank you.
Oh, no, but I just want to say one more thing.
Thank you.
Some say the old ruins in the sand tell us every story will come to an end. But my dear, we can live what we tell. We are storytelling animals.